Hi, friends, fam, everyone. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. I had an amazing weekend, and now I'm back here to talk to all of you. Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the David with a 3 scandal and that whole tragedy. What I want to focus on in the beginning is more about a teacher who is under fire for doing something, in my opinion, is absolutely necessary, and we're going to talk about that. But first, don't forget to click the link in the description. That is my link tree where you can save 50% off your first box of Farmer's Dog, 50% off your first order of Haya Children's Vitamins, and get your free trial of Babbel. Okay? Healthy dogs, healthy kids, healthy brain. We got this. And then at the end of the video, stick around. I'm going to try to keep it short. I say that every time. I know I do. I'm so wordy. But I have a message for my babies, all of the children, all your children, and actually adults too. It is what it is. The world's a scary place. So if you don't know, this person who I guess is a rapper, singer, I had never heard of him before this whole thing, is David with a 3. The 3 is where the A should be. So, or wait, maybe it's a 4. Oh, it's David with a 4. Okay, David with a 4. Apparently he was on tour or about to go on tour. I think he was on tour. He was out of town, and his Tesla was found with a deceased individual in the frunk. I just learned that word. Elon, stop it. Stop trying to make frunk happen. It's not going to happen. I was like, what the hell is that? Now I know. I've been educated on what a frunk is. But and the remains were so badly decomposed that they could not identify the gender, the age, ethnicity, anything of who, and it wasn't the whole body. She had been dismembered. Anyways, and what we're being led to believe right now is that there are pieces of her that are still unaccounted for. You get the drift. Anyways, so when it came out after, well, I've seen a couple conflicting things. I mean, I looked at the LA County Coroner report that they have up online this morning, but from what it seems like is somehow someone got an interview with this girl's mom, and she had been reported missing a year ago. And the mother said that she had a similar tattoo on her hand, this tattoo on her finger. And that was apparently how the police got with that mother. And that was how identifications were originally made, I'm sure, before they did DNA testing and everything like that. So David with a 4 is 21. I think he turned 21 in March. This young lady's body was found the day after her 15th birthday, very badly decomposed, which means she was unalived when she was only 14. That's not the worst part. Well, yes, it is. The worst part, obviously, that she's no longer with us. But I don't know, fans, but people on the internet, remember, you guys, the internet never forgets. And internet sleuths have solved cases before detectives have. Y'all are good. Found all of these Reddit and Discord conversations, group chats, etc. That were all, there were pictures of her, there were some videos of her. I think she had an account at one point, and all of it put together looks very much like this David with the 4 person met her and started dating her when she was, ready? 11, 10 or 11. He was 17. And I guess she ran away for like a month, and the police brought her back somehow, and then she disappeared again for a year from what we're being told so far. But it seems like, from everything I've seen in the footage and the videos and everything, it seems like in a lot of these Reddit, Discord, group, whatever server chats, this was like an open secret that this missing 14-year-old girl, was with this very famous person. He had brand deals. Hold on. He had brand deals. He was on tour. He was, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. Billions of streams. David. Now, all of these sponsors have since pulled their sponsorship, and his tour's been canceled, obviously. But it wasn't at first. David. I should have looked this up first. I didn't think I was going to go into him this much. David. Okay, let's put former sponsorship. Hollister, okay. He had sponsorships with Hollister and Crocs that have both been dropped. But this was a big person, is what I'm saying. That's the only reason I'm saying. I'm not trying to bring them into it. They've dropped him. They're like, no, can't be having bodies in your frunk. But this was a very popular individual, very in at least some public eye. Like I said, I had never heard of this person before all of this stuff just broke. Just like I had never heard of Charlie Kirk before that happened. But I've told y'all before, I am tunnel vision with my own crimes that I'm dealing with and reporting on right now against me and my babies. And if you've been following me for any amount of time, you already know that. And if you haven't, visit courthousekidnapping.com. Okay? That's on the link tree too. You'll see it. It's all over there. I'm not going to shut up about it ever. But anyways, so it seems like people knew that this person, this David with a 4, was with an underage girl. Whether she was being held against her will is unclear. But that's kind of my point. She met him. It has come that she met him on some kind of social media. I don't know which one. They've talked about a couple of them at this point. And this, it seems like, from her own posts and some of those videos, that this was someone that she thought that she loved, how it is when you're 14. And that she could trust. My point is, the world is a scary, terrifying, such a dangerous place, not only for us, but for our children, obviously. But the threats aren't just out there anymore. They're here. They're in our baby's hands. You know what I mean? Undercover predators have more access to our children than ever. I live with fear every day, as I cannot speak to my children because of the crimes that were committed against them and us. Once again, acoralskidnapping.com. Go check that out. Never going to shut up about it. But it's a lot. Anyways, there's a teacher. So there's a teacher, where am I? I'm at 11 minutes, who is teaching in LA where all this happened. And I've watched this video. Okay, now this is what you have to know about this. The teacher did not take this video. He was just talking to his class. You can tell that it's a student who's like kind of like secretly like recording it. You know what I mean? Because you could see like a hoodie or sweatshirt right there. So the teacher didn't take the video. The teacher didn't post it. But the teacher's getting a lot of flack for it. And it's about this victim. And I've watched that clip a million times, and I stand by the teacher. Thank goodness someone is telling these kids, if parents aren't going to be able to have some of these conversations with their kids for whatever reason, okay, maybe they're just not thinking about that, right? Whatever. I don't know. At least teachers can. Teachers are with your babies. I mean, they see them almost as much as you do. You know what I mean? It is so important for us to protect the teachers protecting our kids, because there are also so many teachers who don't. Trust me, I know. If you think Bird Neck Elementary and Corporate Landing Middle haven't both been notified by me about what's going on with my daughter, you're wrong. Schools, but once again, there's only so much schools can do. Blatantly ignoring it is pathetic. Those two schools will be coming up later in Mona's Laws down the line, later down the road, okay? Years from now, once they can't do anything anyways. So talking about that right now wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't move any needle forward. But so what he said was, he was a teacher of, her name is Celeste, and I actually have a little memorial thing that I made, and I'm going to put it up here in a minute, about her. He was talking, she was his student 2 years ago, I think he said. And he said, look at this. So he's in front of the class, right? And he says, see this girl? This was my student. This is her standing in front of this poster. And he points to one of the posters behind him. He said, this young lady, and her name is Celeste Rivera Hernandez, was found in a trunk, chopped up in pieces. And he's saying this to a 7th grade class. And people are upset about it because they feel like it's inappropriate for him to say that. I disagree. I feel like it's absolutely necessary. And if it saves a life, let them be uncomfortable. Sometimes, you guys, it's important, even for adults, and adults know this. It's important to be a little uncomfortable so that you stay vigilant and you don't let your guard down. That uncomfortable feeling and all these things that we need to talk about is put there by nature for a reason, to keep you safe. It's important to not ignore that. You know what I mean? And he said, and then he wraps it up with, and you know where she met him? He goes, she met this guy and she went missing for a month, and then they brought her back, and then she went missing for a year, and they found her in her trunk. And he said, you know where they met this guy? Do you know where she met this guy? And he goes, social media. And that was the whole thing. That was all he said. What an important message. What an important message. The fact that that teacher might like get in some kind of trouble, and whatever school he was teaching at, I guess he had moved since then. So he's not at the same school. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, makes me feel like we have the same posters in every school and every class. Okay. ADD Jamie, come back. But yeah, he's getting a lot of flack for this, and I don't think that he should. You know, there were a lot of things, and of course, I cannot compare the crimes committed against my children to anything like this. My children are still very much alive. And it's not the same. It's obviously, but in a more minimalistic way in comparison to this, there are things that I felt uncomfortable talking to Ramona and Deacon about when it comes to what was going on inside the family, because they're children and they didn't need to deal with that. But now it's been 3.5 years that I've been able to speak to them, and there are a lot of things I wish I would have said back then. My point is, I understand that with your babies, you want to protect them. You want to protect their heart. You want to protect their spirit. You want to protect everything about them. We don't want to scare them, but sometimes they need to be a little scared because it might save their life. They need to be a little scared so they could be vigilant. I don't mean like make them paranoid. I don't mean make them little hermits that are afraid to leave the house. But it's so important that our children, and she was 11, you guys. She was 11 when they met. 11. It is so important that our children, even through elementary school, and this breaks my heart so much, know that this happens so that it doesn't happen to them. That's all we can do. None of us as individuals or even as a society have full control over anyone else. We don't control over a lot of the horrible things that happen, and horrible things are going to happen, as they always have since the beginning of man's sentience. Human beings are the worst. But it's important to have these uncomfortable conversations. And I would like to say, good on that teacher. Good for him. There is a channel that I watch a lot called BJ Investigates. I'm going to link her in the description too. And you guys go over and check her out, because it's very intuitive while still being very real, genuine. You can tell she speaks with integrity. And of course, I'm a big fan for anyone who will throw themselves on fire to protect a child. Obviously, big fan. I think we should all do that. I mean, look, we should all be doing that. But yeah, how did I get to her? ADD Jamie, come back. How did I? It was like go over. It's gone. Nope, it's gone. Whatever. Just go watch. I mean, she has a lot. She does lives every day, but just go watch some of her stuff about this. I thought it was back for a minute. It was something about the teacher. Oh, okay. I remember it. I remember now. I was watching one of her lives this morning, and she was talking about this with the teacher. And she said on her video, this is not wrong. This teacher, this is grown man behavior. And I couldn't agree with her more. That is grown person behavior. Protect the kids. Say what you need to say to protect those kids. What he told those kids could save a life. If other people show that clip to their kids, it could save their life. And something tells me that that dude probably doesn't care if it costs him this job, but you go get another one if it means to save a child's life. We need more adults like that in the world. Okay. Yep. That's it. All right. Now, I have a message. I have a message for my children and a message for all of yours. So if they're not here, bring them in the room. Let's just bring it all together. Okay? And I'm going to put that. Let's see. Let's see if Jamie can. Here we go. There she is. Move her. Hide this. Okay. There she is. Look at that. Okay. So, bring your kids, because this is for them. Beautiful young people all over. I'm talking to you. And not even just girls, because young men can be victims of predators as well. Okay, we all know this. This is Celeste. Look how beautiful. This little girl, this young woman, rather, had her whole life ahead of her. Her whole life. Look at her. She could have been anything. And same thing for you. So much time. There's so much ahead of you. So much for you to experience and enjoy and become. She could have been anything. Beautiful angel. And now she can't. Because she's no longer with us. She's no longer with us because of a man that she trusted. A man who was famous on the internet. A man who had all kinds of eyes on him all the time. She met him when she was 11. He was 17. And he convinced her that, I'm sure he told her that she was so mature for her age, because that's what they say. And listen, I'm not saying that you're not mature for your age. I actually do feel like younger people nowadays are a lot more mature than we were. I'm 40. Than we were. But that's not what it is, okay? It's not about maturity. When it comes to relationships like this, like that, it is about power. And I'm telling you, even as an adult, even in relationships between two grown adults, power imbalances can be dangerous anyways. She is no longer with us because of someone she met on social media. Here's something you need to remember about social media, you guys. Anyone can put anything online and pretend that they're anybody. And I'm not talking down to anyone for being, because you're young or for being young. No. Stranger danger does not stop when you are an adult. Trust me, I am very, at 40, particular about my own surroundings for that very reason. Because I'm little, I get snatched easy. But as someone who's been here for 40 years and learned about stuff like this, even for 40 years, you know, I'm more aware. Being young is so fun. And I remember being a teenager, and you can ask any of your parents, when we were teenagers, we thought we had it all figured out and that we knew everything. We had the world figured out. We had people figured out. We had it all under control. We did not. But we didn't know that because we didn't have 20 more years of experience. That has nothing to do with intelligence or maturity. Okay? It's about power. It's about power. And the last thing that you want someone to have power over you is someone who is mentally unwell. And I'm just being honest with you right now. Okay? So it's not about whether that person actually thinks that you are mature for your age, because you may very well be. You probably are. It's the fact that regardless of how mature you are for your age, no mentally sane, stable adult is going to want to be that with you for many, many, many other reasons that maybe aren't very apparent right now, you know, at that fun teenage stage in life. It's just so scary. It's so scary. But this is my main message for you. One, always be aware of your surroundings. Always be aware of your surroundings, whether it's outside or right here. Okay? Always. Two, if there is someone who is older than 18 and speaking to you in a manner that they should not be speaking to you in, the mature thing to do is to tell on them. Tell on them. Tell on them. Okay? It's okay. Be a snitch. Do it, because that person is dangerous. I promise you. I promise you this. And tell one person. And if that person doesn't help, tell someone else. Listen, I've had to learn this as an adult as well. I didn't learn this little lesson until 3.5 years. But it's okay to be a human, and sometimes you are going to need help. As a human being throughout your life, nobody can do everything all on their own. It's just not possible, okay? Sometimes you are going to need help, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make you weak. That doesn't make you stupid. That doesn't make you anything nasty. All it makes you is human, and that's very beautiful. And what I've learned is sometimes the first person can't help you or won't help you, you have to go to someone else. And then maybe you have to go to someone else. And then maybe you're going to have to go to someone else. And that's okay. Do it. Keep talking. Keep talking. Okay. Celeste Rivas Hernandez. She was found one day after her 15th birthday. And her remains, she had been passed away for so long that they didn't even know what her gender was, or they couldn't tell they couldn't tell anything about her. They didn't know if it was male or female. They couldn't age, nothing. They had no idea. And all of her was not. This was someone she was on live streams with in front of millions of people. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Discord is a millions of people kind of platform. I've actually never been on Discord. But lots of people knew. I mean, it's coming out that people knew that she was with him. Maybe he was holding her against her will. physically, but there's another way that people can hold you against your will, and that's kind of psychologically, especially when we're young, because the brain doesn't finish developing until the third decade of life. We got a lot of growing left to do. Well, not me, I'm 40. But even at 40, I still have a lot of growing left to do. We all do. You know, it's possible to learn from the cradle to the grave. That is the truth. But this young lady did not deserve the early grave that she got. And there have been vigils over in LA. She was failed. She was failed by every adult that knew that she was with this person. And I know that all the other channels are being pretty diligent about saying allegedly, but it's not, the evidence isn't looking so, I feel like that's like me saying that I'm allegedly wearing a green striped shirt right now. I'm not allegedly wearing a green. I am wearing a green. Like, it's like I have alleged on my website too, but it's because how is it alleged when I have most of the proof right there on the website, and the proof that, okay, you know what? I forgot we're talking to the kids. Tell on him, tell on them, tell, and trust your parents. Believe your parents. They're not trying to hold you back. They're just trying to keep you alive. Okay. Rest in peace, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Failed. And I feel like the more we talk about this in classrooms, on social media, anywhere we can speak, the more awareness, the more lives will be saved from this happening to someone else. You know, I don't think this is something that should be pushed under the rug at all. And that's all I have to say about that. So, check out my link in the description. 50% off your first box of Farmer's Dog. 50% off your first order of kids' vitamins. Love those vitamins. They come with such a cool, I know I keep harping on the bottle, but I really do think that's so cool for a kid because they get to decorate it and everything. And then it's like their like little thing. Like I feel like if I was a kid, I would like that. And start your free trial to Babbel. Learn another language. I'm going to be saving babies in every language. Thank you guys for coming. I'm so grateful for every single one of you, as always. I'll never stop saying that either. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to continue to forget to say that, but try to remind myself. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Facebook. Thank you for all of you. Thank you for your attention. We've got to do better. We really do. As adults, as humans, we have to try to do a little better. That's all.